Hello my friends and welcome, my name is Dennis and this is the latest update from Ukraine. We have some sort of the clarification from the front lines, but there is no major movement from either of the sides, Russian or Ukrainian. As you can see, Kherson region is already painted in green. It means that we took it quite a long time ago, more than 2 weeks, and today Russia again fired their artillery to the city. They want to turn it to the second Mariupol, killing our civilians and destroying our buildings. Ukrainian side does the best to restore the infrastructure in the city and in the Kherson region, but still we need to restore everything in Ukraine, all of the power plants, power lines. That is why simply we are in lack of resources to do it in a fast manner. My friends, the big fighting will go for Mariupol. It's gonna be very soon. It's the key city to cut supply lines from Crimea, and if we take this city, if we cut Kerch Bridge, obviously Russians should withdraw their forces even from Crimea, because it will be the big encirclement of their group there. Yes, still they have some sort of the ships to provide supplies, but we can easily target those with Harpoon rockets. And I do expect the fighting for Mariupol very soon, probably in December, and Russia is getting prepared for it. They put new reinforcements to that area because they do afraid to lose that city, and if we take it, my friends, it will be the turning point to win this war. So it could be the key battle in this war. And according to the information we got from our military command, Russia moved their forces up to 15 kilometers further from the Dnieper River because our artillery fires towards them and they simply cannot keep their positions, and for us still it's quite risky to land on the other part of the river shore because they may just cover our troops with their artillery. Ben Wallace, the UK Minister of Defense, advised the Ukrainian authority to continue counteroffensive operation throughout the front lines because it's the main thing to keep the pace. Doesn't matter on the weather conditions or the time of the year. Because the Russian army missed the punch and they have to leave Kharkiv region together with part of the Kherson region, so it's important to keep moving. And the bad thing with counterattack is that you would lose more forces compared to defense, but there is no any way for us. We need to counterattack to get our land back. Norway sends more military help to Ukraine before they sent some of the M109 self-propelled artillery systems, and now they send one more together with lots of the spare parts for those systems and ammunitions and other stuff. Norwegian supplies were delivered by Ruslan Antonov 124, one of the biggest airplanes ever made, and be brave like Bucha. Awesome airplane to deliver those types of goods. Today Putin met with the mothers of the soldiers who fight on the front lines, some of them, but apparently in the modern age of internet, old school Russian KGB lost again, because the internet community already exposed some of the old photos of the same women that took place in other meetings with Putin. For example, this lady, and she's in the National Front, she is the part of the Russian authority, this lady as well, and this one was spotted with Putin and she was wearing the same clothes basically before in a previous meeting. So it's fake, it was done for purpose, because there are some of the rights inside the Russia, because mothers, wives and daughters start to record videos and post them in internet, and they collect lots of the likes and they tell real experience that their beloved ones were just screwed on the front lines. Many of them were injured, killed and lost, and those who survived simply doesn't have any kind of necessary equipment and even food sometimes. This is not a new type of the Ukrainian or the Russian drone. As you can see, those are made drones, and they were used to deliver cigarettes from Ukrainian territory to Poland, because the price for cigarettes in Ukraine is around 5 times lower. So our police captured those drones, they were confiscated from the local building, and some of the people were arrested for the contraband, we call it. Ukraine stopped exporting goods that are used to warm up the households, because without electricity it's impossible to pump the water into the heaters in a household. So at least we'll have some sort of the alternative. And I already called some of the guys to deliver goods to my parents' house. I ordered around 2 tons. That should be enough till the end of this winter. Some of the movement here with German Patriot systems. Before I told you that Germany refused to send those systems to Ukraine, but now, as we know, negotiations are ongoing and maybe they will supply those systems to protect our skies. And many countries start to deliver generators to Ukraine. Canada, United States, Japan, European countries, my friends, thank you so much for helping us these hard times. Lots of that stuff were deployed to supply the critical infrastructure, but they consumed the fuel, and that is why we have lots of the queues for the fuel stations, and there is the lack in fuel. And I hope in a couple of days this problem will be solved. It's just the usual euphoria after the Russian strikes, because total blackout in Ukraine and drivers just want to refuel their cars just in case. We have the reports of explosions. This time we fired our HIMARS rocket artillery systems to the units of the Russian S-300. S-300 can be used by Russians against the air targets as well as against the ground targets. They modified those rockets, and as you can see, we're getting closer and closer to Melitopol. Also, some of the fighting was reported near to the place, but I think it was also artillery system. Those are the NATO forces that were deployed near to the Belarusian border, and Belarusian leader was very angry. He said, we're gonna use nukes. Oh, Russia is going to use nukes to protect us. And here you can see the desert camouflage. I wonder why they use it in this area, and we have many more vehicles on the background. And this is Ukrainian MLRS Mars 2 that was delivered to Ukraine by Germany, and it's the nice vehicle, especially for those very dirty roads that you see. So the weather is not good for the counteroffensive operation nowadays. That is why we don't see the movement from either of the sides. And Russia continued to use those cones to reinforce their defense lines. Kind of strange, but maybe they may work, but I'm not sure about that. And they also put some of the trenches near to those cones. Looks like the Second World War architecture, but you know, my friends, in this war we have some of the similarities with the last World War. I hope it will not turn to the third one. My friends, as you can see, there are no significant updates for today, and I continue to drive across the Europe. I already found out where I will stay for a long time. I hope I'll not tell you the country, however, I'll tell you later. Then I'll arrive and settle my belongings over there, and then I'm gonna spend more time preparing my videos, so sorry for short updates. Anyways, my friends, I'm gonna keep you updated on situation in Ukraine. Now, if you want to support this channel, just press the like button. If you want to support me financially, there are some of the links in the video description just below. You may support me on Patreon, PayPal, or Davydov, whichever is more convenient for you. My friends, I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are. Have a great time.